This is one of my favourite photographs in paleontology. It's a picture taken in the 1920s of a foreman standing in a quarry in upstate New York with an enormous tree stump. And we now know that this tree stump represents one of the oldest trees that grew on the Earth. It has a fossil record which goes back 10 or 15 million years earlier, and these trees would have looked like this. And all you're seeing there is the very base of one of these enormous trees. We found these trees now all over the world. We found them in Venezuela, in Belgium, Germany, in Scotland, all sorts of places. We know that these trees were growing during the Devonian period, approximately 480 to about 470 million years ago. And these were the first trees to be on the planet. And the real mystery that's bothered me for the past 30 years is how did these trees grow? Because they're not like ordinary trees. The beginnings of the answer to this question come from this fantastic fossil, which is part of a larger chunk of rock that my friend Honghe Xu collected in Xinjiang province, northwest China, with his team of paleontologists. And what's amazing about it is that when you look at it, rather than just being a big bag of sand, it's been preserved in a volcanic sediment, filled up with silica, and every cell that was there in the original plant is more or less preserved today. So we can make thin sections of this and see the cells in the plant just as it was the day that it died. You can see there's a ring of long strands around the outside, and in the middle there's a network of interconnected smaller strands between it. This was an exciting fossil, and we learnt a lot about it, but what was more remarkable was that he went back into the field and he found another fossil perfectly preserved, which is bigger than this one. And I've laid some of it out on the desk here, and you can see that effectively this little tree here has grown into this big tree here, and you can see the same ring of strands around the middle and a big hollow pith in the center. Each of these little strands is just like a normal tree, although it's all connected up together. Each of these little strands has rings of growth around each one. So if you cut it through, each one looks like a little tree that's grown with growth ring over a period of maybe 20 years, because you see 20 increments of growth. This skeleton ripped itself apart. It actually tore itself apart as the thing got bigger, and we can see evidence of the strands physically becoming separated. And the really odd thing is that the bottom of the tree, as this happened, the bottom of the tree sort of folded outwards to form a big flat base, and it ripped itself apart and it collapsed under its own weight as it gradually got bigger and bigger and bigger. And as far as we know, there's no other tree in the whole history of life that did anything as crazy as that.